All right, guys. Honey Jefe here. It's May 18th, 2025. It's Sunday. Tell you what. Let me add this little transducer here. Or not transducer, but receiver here. See if that makes a difference. I'm out here at the green apiary. I've got a swarm trap that I've had on a tree in my backyard for a couple of years. I've caught a lot of swarms in there. I actually had a video of me taking something out of the swarm or preparing for it, and then it's the same moment where I got grossed out because I found my bulldog eating a dead armadillo that had been dead probably for weeks, because I've been smelling the smell for weeks. And then later, when I went to open the swarm trap that had 50 million bees inside it, there were no bees. Well, bees have moved back in, and they're about to swarm out of this swarm trap. And so what you see here is, I think the comb has grown. I believe I got frames over here, and then the comb they built along here, and it has just I can't slide the top over. So let me face you this direction. Sorry. I'm gonna slide these guys forward toward me, and they're going to be. It's about 12:45. Once again, I didn't wake up at 7 to do this, but I had these closed off, and they're in the shade, so hopefully there's not a lot of death. What is that? It looks like let me see. I guess it's just water. I'm trying to think. Do I want to put this swarm right here on this pallet? Now I cut a. It's kind of far away. Tell you what. Got my hot tool. This is all crooked. This is not a sturdy way to do this. So this swarm trap, I had cut some plywood to fit the box, screwed it on there. I know a lot of guys will get deep boxes and they'll turn it this way and catch a lot of swarms. I don't mind that, but I wanted it to be this way. That way I can put a frame or 2 or 3 in here. They'll still have a lot of place when they come in, have a big empty cavity, and have some frames with comb in there, maybe some frames with foundation, and they'll build that out. Which you can't really do it if you've got to turn the other way. So for me to do that, and I wanted to have a small entrance, one way in, one way out. I didn't want to, screw it to a bottom board. I guess you could, but I've read and I've heard and I've experienced that if you have a small hole, they tend to like to use that, like the hole about the size of what they would have like in a tree. It gives them that sense of security, I guess. And so I basically have it closed up. This was screwed into the top. That way when I pick it up, I didn't have to worry about the top flying off. It may or may not still be in there. I think it's probably screwed in there, but this box is not in great condition. It's a great swarm trap, but the reason I'm moving this is because my dogs don't like the bees. And my neighbors that live next to me, they don't really want, they can see this over the fence, so I think they're just kind of being polite, not saying anything to me, but I know it makes them nervous. So I'm gonna focus the camera on them just for a second. Let's see how we can get this going. Make it line up. I'm gonna kind of pull it at an angle. They're gonna come out and they're gonna be upset, but they should have a lot of orientation coming out, unless they're just all dead now because of the heat. But like I said, that's a little bit too much. Like I said, they're in the shade. And there's a big gap right here where this was up against the board. There's a pile of water right there. I guess that's from rain. Watch them pour out of there. Let me see if this is going to be, yeah, it feels like it's loose actually. I'll pull that up in a second. Give these bees a chance to get out. A couple of minutes. So this is about 2 miles from my house. So it should be far enough. Like I said, it's 12:45. It's far enough away for them to be safely moved over without them flying back to the house looking for this spot. Of course, I've read some people say 3 miles. Well, that's just too bad. But it's a good distance, and there's so much in terms of resources here. Oh, let me grab this box. I'm gonna kind of sit here next to you. This box doesn't feel super sturdy. So I talked a little bit last night. I'm brainstorming as I'm doing all this. But I think I'm going to use this yard primarily to kind of bank queens, make some splits, put splits out here. I've got about 10 or 12 or more queens in that top bar hive box right there. They're all on I guess on that red plastic strip where you can put the JZBZ cups in there, or queen cages. They're not the JZBZ queen cages. They're actually the California queen cages, I believe. I believe that's what they're called. And last night when I checked, all the queens are still alive. There's 2 or 3 or maybe 3 sheets of brood in there with a lot of bees. Look at that, they're dragging something out or in. Oh, they're dragging a dead bee in. So I've never seen that. Let's drag a dead bee in. Nope, out. They're taking them out. That's a dead bee. There's got to be a lot of dead bees in there. Just, yeah. See that? That's very interesting. Because I know a swarm had moved in there and then they disappeared for one reason or another. I feel like I hear a bush hog going. That's a pretty interesting thing, dragging out the dead, right? But I want to give it a few more minutes. I'm going to try to pop that top off and let a bunch of bees just kind of get out. I want to see what the comb looks like stuck underneath there. I've actually taken comb from underneath there a couple of years ago, and I think maybe last year, and put them in frames and put them into a hive. Anyway, so back to the queen bank. I probably got between 10 and 15 in there that I want to leave 2 or 3 of them in there. I'm going to divide that top bar hive in there to keep them separated. I forgot my other follower, and I don't even know if that follower is going to be big enough. I may have to add some stuff to it, but I'm going to just keep rambling on here. So if I can get 2 or 3 Caucasian queens in there to establish some hives in there, I'll get some of the nukes that I have out. I brought the boxes out here. I brought 2 wooden boxes. I'll establish some hives that way when I get more frames of brood. I don't think, this guy probably is, but I don't think any of these are strong enough to pull out frames of brood. I can get it from other apiaries, but I'm not traveling right now. So it'll be a few more days or maybe longer before I can do that. Meanwhile, those bees are taking care of the queens in there. All right, so I'm going to establish some nukes over here. I think I can pop these off. Is that interesting there? So that's a lot of brood. There's some drone there. A lot of comb. There's 2 frames here that they've, maybe 3. I don't know about that one. It could be wonky, but what I'll do is I'll pick a day and I'll go through these and cut them out and put them in frames. Let me see how many. Let me turn this just a little bit so I don't drop it. Oh man, it's just caked full of. There's some small hive beetles in here, so I need to spend a day going through these and just adding traps and Swiffer sheets. Not just these hives, but all my hives. So I'm just cleaning out. This is several years of. They can't clean it up down here because they don't have a way to carry it out. They can take out dead bees and stuff, but as far as all the junk, so I'm just helping them out a little bit. I'll eventually replace the whole bottom or the whole box. See if I see the queen, obviously. I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna let these guys go. Let them get used to what they're doing. Let me pop this real quick. This doesn't feel right. It's got that color. I'm seeing some small hive beetles in there. So that doesn't look good. That's drone. That's brood. Let me see if there's a queen in here. If there's not, let me just grab one. I wouldn't have moved them in here. See, there's so many small hive beetles in here. Look at that. This yard, I've never had so many problems with small hive beetles. They're everywhere. I don't see a bunch of larvae down there yet, but this hive was just getting started. So we're in the sun. It's just, and we're on top of I noticed it was like water out here on the side. I just didn't look right. See how it has that kind of a weird glisten to it? And all the spots of brood. Look at that crap. That just looks nasty. So it's already being slimed out. Let me see if there's a queen in here. If I can see the queen, I may put her in a 3-framer. Chances are she's left. Well, I'm glad I came out here today. You can't kill these suckers with this tool like that, because the sucker doesn't smash flat. So I'm just going to sit here and kill a few of these. This is traps are not going to help when they get to this level. They're just going, the traps are going to get filled up. With probably 1% of what's in there. And they'll be able to walk. So I may just take this whole thing and slide it over there. Let me see if I see the queen just laying around. I want to take this pallet off because they're hiding down in here. I'm killing bees as I'm trying to kill one stupid mite. Or not mite, but small hive beetle. So for the reason that I need the hive queens banked and all that stuff, so I keep losing these hives. It's the same reason that I'm scared to put them out here, is I don't want to lose all of them. I've not been able to keep a successful hive here a year yet. I've only been here a year, but I mean, I lost 100% despite treating. Now, a few of those were my own idiot fault with using hop guard, suffocating them. I want to brush these bees off and have them fly around and find a new home. They're all chasing. So those small hive beetles are down in these small crevices here, meaning they're going to end up in here if I don't move them. That was a successful split that turned into a failure. That's annoying. Turn that upside down. Oh man, see? Let me show you real quick. Look at all them. I mean, you just can't, you can't make any reasonable difference in your population of small hive beetles by just, you know, stomping. That's why I like trying to hit each one like that. It ain't not gonna make any difference. All right, the ones that are foundation, I'm gonna leave. This is foundation. Foundation. All right. I'm gonna take these guys back to the house and freeze them, see if I can use any of them. Good thing is I was able to find that hive. I mean, really just a few days ago, I just moved them. That might have been one that I moved up prematurely. I need to start treating for mites and setting out small hive beetle traps. I think those pallets, I don't know. I lose them when they're not on pallets too, so I can't blame it on the pallets, but I think they just found a place to live a lot easier in those pallets. So all my splits came from hives that I had previously treated. In February, maybe, with formic acid. So I know the mites in the cat brood got treated. Let's see if I can find a better beehive or better ant bed. One that's a little more menacing. There's one right there. Oh, here's one. Let me see. All right. Give you a little example of what I'm going to do. See, I would use this one right here. I don't want it to be right there. All right, you see that? I pick up some of that trash. I do need to get back here and mow. All right. So you can see, I'll show you in a second here, I'm carrying two things. These bees are obviously finding something here. Turn that phone here. They're finding something here, right, that's valuable to them, the bees, that they wouldn't be on here. Might be bits of honey or nectar or whatever. So I'm gonna let the bees just clean it out. At the same time, when any small hive beetle larva comes out, they'll fall directly into the ant bed. I should take care of that. Any bee pupa larvae that fall, same thing, the ants will take care of it. Meanwhile, the ants will probably also climb up into the comb and clean out everything they got and leave the wax behind. Let me see what happens when I shake. Like, you don't see many small hive beetle on this. I'm gonna see what happens when I shake it down. It's a small hive beetle. They hide everywhere. Alright, well, that's me rambling on, guys. You see my pile of boxes like that? That's what I'm doing. Right there. I'm not gonna say it's the best thing for me. I think it is, because I'm able to get rid of the junk on the frame. Save the frame. I can go back and freeze it later just to make myself feel better. I find though, when you do it this way, I don't even think wax moths get to it as much. And even if they do, you got the ants right there. But I feel some of those frames that I've pulled off ant beds like this, I've been on there for a year or longer. I've thrown them in the hives and seen them do pretty well. There's a gap right here. Let me see if I can close that. Hold on, guys. I'm looking back at this. Okay. Need to. I don't think this box has been wax dipped. Yeah, I think it was one that was kind of out of commission. Sorry, I got distracted. But I think this is a good way to be able to use your frames that have been slimed out. You can't just stick them in the freezer and kill all the larvae and expect the bees to just use it with all the slime that's still on there, because it's they get kind of disgusted about it too. And that's one reason a lot of bees will move out. I guess I need to clear my boxes here a little bit. Forgive me, guys. Let y'all look at that for a minute, but let me center it here, what I'm doing. This is jankety. As I'm picking up these nukes. I'm leaving them here. You know, you may not lose your hive, small hive beetles. But, man, they sure keep you from recovering. All right, where's that other bottom at? Right here. So I gotta find the bottom to that. What is at the top? All right, guys, let me turn it around a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm just looking to leave stuff here. Now, I'll do this so I can go back, right? I can go back and watch and see, get an idea of what I've got recorded, you know, out here. Do I got any more Pro Nuke stuff? Alright guys. I'll do a quick recap here, and I'll do another one by itself. Alright, slimed out. That was a split that I did. Had a queen and everything. Now there's no queen. All of the brood in there looks like it's shrunken in. Looks diseased. There's millions and millions or thousands of small hive beetles everywhere in there. So I put them on the ant bed. Same here. And then we got it here before my bud comes out here with the tractor. So I pulled a swarm from the house and brought it here. That's it right there with the dial in the middle. I got 2 wooden nuke boxes. I got 5 frames of foundation. I got 3 frame nuke boxes in the back, 3 frame nuke boxes in the back. I got what looks like 3 Pro Nukes, although I see 3 tops and looks like 2 or 1. One bottom. Let me look. Yep, just 1 bottom. Well, see, that's why I checked. All right. Queen bank. I'm not opening that up right now. Oh man, I'm struggling. I don't think I have any Pro Nuke bottoms in here. Oh, I got them at the house. That's it, guys. That's my recap. Y'all have a great one.